I'm going to shave every single hair of my head if I don't score a 15 puzzle rush.
All right, here we go. We're gonna start off pretty easy. It's usually like 20 that are just background checkmates, like this one for example. Background checkmate, this is another one. And then it gets really, really hard as soon as you blink and you just can't do them anymore. That's background checkmate. They should be checkmate 1. That's checkmate 1. These are very, very easy. But yeah, you don't have to, you can't get too comfortable with this. That's checkmate 3. Background checkmate as well. What is this? That's checkmate 1. Wait, no, this is checkmate. Is it checkmate? This is checkmate. Should be mate in 3. We're already 11 down, so that's pretty good. That's checkmate 1. What's going on here? I could take the rook and then take the queen. That's, yeah, this is a check, and then I take this guy. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's going on here? I don't see why we shouldn't take this bishop. Yeah, we'll just take the bishop. Beautiful. This is bishop e6 check first, and then we just background checkmate. That's a free bishop, that's mate as well. Let's check, and then take the rook. Checkmate. Mate in 1. Very easy stuff, mate in 1. There we go. We could sack this bishop, I think, and then checkmate in 1. This is just a fork. Bishop b5 check. Just go c6. Should be enough. c6. And takes the knight. We got this check. Sacrificing the knight. But that's gonna be mate, I think. Queen to f6. That's mate. Okay. We could take this bishop. We're threatening to promote. You move the king, and then knight to d7. You take this guy, and then we take the rook. I mean, that looks good. I'm gonna do it. Here. Check. There we go. Win the rook. All right. What do we got here? We got check. King here. Oh my god. We sacked the rook. Holy shit. That is wild. Let's go here. And then queen g7 is mate. Very good. That's mate in 1. We're 27 down. We're halfway there. But again, it gets really, really hard. So even fucking Hikaru struggles down the 40s. We have this check, king takes, and then that's mate, I believe. Let's do it. Let's go here. Very good. Very good stuff. I think we're gonna take the bishop. You take, and then we got check, king there, and you can't stop this guy. Looks like it, I think. I'm gonna do it. Here. Let's go check, and then promote. There we go. Very nice. It's black to move. G2, king to f2, king d4, king takes, and then your king is like really far away. Is there another option? Like king to d4 right away. b4, I just take en passant. King to d4, king here, I just promote. King to d4, king f3, I take, you take, king g2. That looks good as well. But king to d4, if you push, then I take. Bruh, everything is winning here, unless I'm like stupid or something. King to d4, you're losing this pawn, my king is getting in, but also g2, distracting your king, then I'm taking this pawn and your king is really far away. Those are the only options, king to d4 and pawn to g2. Oh wait, g2, king to f2, king d4, king takes e4, king to f2, king g3, king e3, king takes, king here. If I take, oh, he has a draw, wow. But this is exactly what I was talking about. We were just doing stupid background checkmates just a minute ago. And now we're calculating all this. So then I think king to d4, king f3, king takes g3, king b3, king f3, takes, king e3, I take, yeah, this is better. King to d4, and then we take this guy. And you're not in time to make a draw. Wow, that is wild. All right, what's going on here? We got queen check, king to h1. And I think we sack the queen, right? Yeah, rook takes, and then, yeah, this is beautiful. Let's go knight to f2, that's mate. I think we just take the pawn on c7, and we see what happens there. We take on c7 first. Let's make sure we're not blundering something stupid. This is gonna be checkmate. We take king to e8, we check again, king here, and bishop b4. And we can't go bishop b4 now because of course they go c5, and they block the bishop forever. So we have to take this pawn first. Beautiful, all right. We got knight to g5. I mean, you have a couple of checks, but that doesn't really do anything. We got knight to g5. Should be very good. You got that check. We're forced to go here, and then we take. Yeah, we have to take. And you don't have nothing else. Beautiful. All right. We got rook to c1, king to f2, rook check. Sorry, rook check on f1. King to g3, and then take the rook. Or do we have mate there or something? I don't know. Let's just go here. All right, let's just take this guy. There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, here we got bishop g5 check. If pawn to f6, we just take on e6. That's mate. And can you move anywhere? No, you can't. This is the right answer. That's mate in 1. Very good. 33. We're 17 away. Doing pretty good. Oh man, this is an endgame one. I hate those because you have to calculate like a lot. So what do we have here? King to f5, king c4, king g4, king takes, king here, takes, and then I'm 5 moves away, and you are 1, 5, you're 6 moves away, so I make a queen first, and I win. Let's just confirm that I'm not crazy. King here, 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 here. No, sorry, here. Take, and then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. I get there first. Stop the queen. By the way, I got the trimmer right here. Look at it. It's working. Green light. Working. You hear that? You hear that? Very scary. If I do this now, I will be bold. But I won't do it because I'm going to win. And then I'm sure king to f5 is not blundering anything stupid. You're going to take my pawns, but I'm going to take yours first, and I'm going to make a queen first. So that should be good. Let's go king to f5. Not think about it too much. There we go. King to g4. Oh, he doesn't even take the pawn. That is crazy. Wait. King takes. You still have to move the king out of the way. Here, here. And then we just push. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this is just winning. Beautiful. Bishop to a3, attacking the knight. This king is a little exposed. What do we have here? Like bishop f5. King here, g5, king to e3, knight to d5 check, and that's mate. Okay, let's go bishop f5, g5, and that's checkmate in 1. Beautiful. We're 15 moves, 15 puzzles away. Now we have this discovered check. Do we go knight to f3 or do we take the bishop? Oh, I think we take the bishop, king to h1, and then knight to g3, sacrificing the knight. You can't go back to g1 because of this bishop. You have to take the knight, and then we just go queen to h6, and you have to block with your queen, but that's mate. So we take the bishop first. That's a double check, and then knight to g3, queen to h6, and that's checkmate in uno. Beautiful. All right, so what do we have here? We got queen takes a2. If you take my rook, that's checkmate in 1 because your king cannot escape because of this bishop. So queen takes, how do you walk out of it? You have to push this pawn, I believe. But then I just check. You move your king in front, and then knight to b4, king to b3, queen to a2. But wait, what if you don't push your pawn to c4 and you go to c3 instead? It's getting tricky already. I feel it big time. So queen takes a2, pawn to c3. That's the problem. That's the issue. Oh wait, pawn to c3. We could just take that. What a donkey. If you take with the pawn, your queen is falling. Queen takes a2, if pawn to c4, now we got queen to a1 check, king here, knight b4, king to b3, queen to a2 should be mate. But if we go queen takes a2, pawn to c3, there's simply bishop takes. And I'm threatening something, I'm threatening mate in 2. But if you take the bishop, your queen is falling. That looks good. I'm gonna go queen takes a2. You go pawn to c3, that's the best move, but then this just happens. Ah, queen's there. Queen to c2, how interesting. And what happens if we go queen to a1, queen to b1 blocking, bishop takes b2, king to e2 trying to escape. Oh, we got queen to a5 check, and we win the bishop. Wow. And then we're protecting our bishop on b2. But what if you don't go king to e1 and instead they go king here? King to c2, then we have knight to b4, I think. And then you go king to e2, but we have bishop c3 check. Oh man, this is getting scary, I don't like it. But of course, queen to a1 should be the move. And then bishop takes b2. And now knight to b4. Oh, what if king to b3, piece of shit. Oh wait, king to b3, we just go queen to a3, what am I doing? And then king to c4, queen to c3, king to d5. Wait, king to d5 is not possible because of the knight. So knight to b4 should work. Woo! Jesus Christ. That was something I don't want to do again, like ever. All right, so here we got rook to g1 attacking the queen. Do we have any checks? We can take the rook on d1. The knight takes. We also have bishop to h4 check. If you block with your bishop, that's a free rook. That looks kind of good to me. Bishop h4, and if you move the king, then we can take the rook on d1. Yeah, bishop to h4 looks pretty straightforward to me. And then we can take this rook, I believe. We also have queen to h3, you block with your queen, that doesn't work. And then we can take this, no, because this is mate, okay. We just take the rook on d1, right? Yeah, we just take the rook on d1, beautiful. Oh, look at this, oh, that's very cute. That's very cute, this bishop is pinned. This is move 38, that's crazy. We're getting that kind of puzzle, move 38. All right, so king to g4. I think if we go king to e4, that should be more than enough to push this boy down the board. All right, so king to e4, king g5, d5, king to g6, and then we're 4 moves away and you're 5. So we should make a queen first and stop the promotion. Let's go king to e4. Is there something I'm missing? Let's go king to e4. That doesn't really do anything because you wasted this tempo by not doing this, so it's pretty much the same. We just go pawn to d5 and we make a queen. Or is there something better? No, that's even worse because of this guy. d4, king takes g6, d3, h5, here, here, make a queen, here, and then we just stop everything. Let's go here, here, here. Beautiful, there we go. All right, so we have a couple of discovered checks, but we have to be careful because the queen is hanging. So maybe knight to f4 is coming to mind. King to h1, we cannot take this rook because this is checkmate, so our queen has to stay on the g file. So knight to f4, king to h1, maybe bishop g2. If you take with the rook, that's mate. If you go back with the king to g1, we can take the knight. Now king to f1, if bishop to e2 check, well, if you take with the queen, that's a free queen. If you take with the rook, I think we have queen to h3, don't we? All right, so knight to f4 is obviously the first move, so I think we can do that. Knight to f4. King there, and I think it's also pretty obvious to go this way. Bishop here. What? What about king to g? Am I missing? I was most likely missing something very simple. What? Why would you do that? That's crazy. Okay. That's a free rook. We're 9 moves away, and we still don't have any mistakes. Beautiful. All right, so queen takes c1, rook goes back. We got knight d4. If you take with the knight, that's a free rook, and that's mate in 1. If you take my queen, I can take your queen, and I think that's a draw. So that is not good. So what if we do this first, actually? And then if you take on d4, we'll just take this guy, and that's gonna be mate. And I'm also attacking your queen. And if you go like queen to c, well, queen to c2 doesn't work. If you go queen to b1, defending this rook, we can just take this rook and also take this one. So knight to d4 first looks pretty strong. Just making sure I'm not missing something very, very idiotic. Knight to d4. I really don't see anything. I'm attacking your queen, I'm attacking the rook, I'm distracting the knight. This looks like the move to me. Very good. So now I think we can just take this rook with a check and a fork to the rook on c1. Because if we take this now, you just block with the rook and that's it. So this has to be the first move. There we go, and then we just take the rook on c1. Beautiful. If we take the rook first, pawn takes, and then pawn to g4, forking the queen and the king. Let's say queen takes g4, pawn takes g4, king takes. Now we have a rook versus a knight. So that should be winning. Do we have any other checks to get the queen out of danger? I don't think we do. Yeah, I think we just take the rook. That looks pretty easy to me. And then g4, and we're winning. Wow, look at that. All right, so what? Oh, we got the black pieces. Okay. We have to promote this guy. This also looks very easy to me. Of course, we don't take this pawn. It's not going anywhere. We just go pawn to c6, and that should be winning. Pawn to c6. This is like a very basic endgame. So pawn to c6, if you take that pawn, we just promote. And if you don't take it after pawn to c6, well, you can go to b5 because of this pawn. You can go to b4 because of this one. So you have to waste the tempo. And then we can just very slowly get our king closer, and you can never take the c pawn. So let's do it. That's a very simple one. Pawn to c6. We just take this guy and we just promote. Beautiful. There you go. All right, knight to g6 check. Oh my god, I hate these ones. I hate the ones where we have to move the king after a check because you have so many options and it is so easy to go wrong. The good thing for me here is that I only have two options. I can't go to g8 because of the queen, so there's that. So now we just have to debate if king to g7 or king to h7 is the move. And even though king to h7 is walking straight into knight takes f8 with a check, after we take with the rook, I don't see any other checks. You could go like queen to e7 or queen to d7, but we just block with the rook and you don't have any checks. Because this diagonal is controlled by this pawn, this one is controlled by the rook and the queen, of course, so you don't have any checks. And if we go king to g7, you have a couple of checks, like queen to e5 for example, that could still be winning, but maybe it's a little longer, and the best answer is always the shortest one. So I'm a little scared, but I'm gonna trust my spider sense, and I'm gonna go king to h7. Oh my god. Why would I walk into knight takes f8? What was that wrong? I mean, that was just a check, but then we blocked. What was wrong with that? All right, I'm not really sure. We're gonna check later, but yeah, that was painful. All right, what do we have here? Rook takes b7 check, king to a8, and then we can't take this guy because of the bishop. So what if we take with this rook instead? King to c8, rook check, king b7, that's checkmate, I think. You can't go forward because of this pawn. So we take with the g rook. If you move this way, that's mating 1. King to c8, check, you lift the king up, and then that's mate. All right, at least we get an easy one now. That's checkmate 1, and we're 5 moves away. I'm getting a headache, actually. For real, I'm getting an actual headache. All right, so here we have rook to g7 check. You have to go this way, that's the only legal move. And then knight to h4, followed by knight to g6, should be checkmate. Now the question is, can you stop knight to g6 somehow? I think you can move this rook, and that's kind of giving you some air, but then knight to g6, king to e8. I mean, that has to be winning. There's zero chance those are not the moves. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. If anything comes up, then it's gonna be really easy to find. Rook to g7 check, and then knight to h4 and knight to g6. I mean, that looks very obvious to not work. So knight to h4, they give me this check, sacrificing the queen, we just take it. Beautiful, we're 4 moves away. All right, so queen to c4, attacking the rook, attacking the knight. We can take the pawn on f2 with a check. You move your king, and now my rook and my knight are under attack. But then we have this other rook also playing, defending the knight. If queen takes knight, we take, king takes this guy. And now we have a rook and pawn versus 2 pawns. That's completely winning. If we take the pawn on f2 with the knight, then queen takes a2 and we are horribly losing. So we gotta take this guy. That seems pretty obvious first. And then we just defend the knight. Ah man, I was looking at rook to f1 check, king takes, and then we have this fork. But rook to f1 you can take with the queen, and then we're losing. And if we get a little too stupid looking for a fork, they just have queen to g4, that's a check, and we're losing the rook, and that's game over. After rook to e8, they do have queen to c6, attacking the rook and the knight at the same time, but I think we have rook to e6, and the rook is defended, the knight is defended, this one is defended, everything is defended, and I don't see any other checks that I could be too worried about. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Rook to e8. Beautiful, oh my god. That was unnecessarily scary. All right, so now we have, what is this? Queen to d5 check, if you block with a queen. Rook to g1, that should be checkmate. What other options do you have? Queen to d5, you block with a rook. Rook to g1, king to f8. Can we sack the rook or something? Take with the king, queen to g5, and no, there's nothing there. All right, what if like queen to d5, rook to f7, rook to g1 check, king to f8, and then queen to g5? I'm threatening checkmate in 1. If you move the king, there's queen check, you block with the rook, shit. Now if you go king to e8, what if we go queen to h5, pinning this rook, threatening rook to g8 checkmate? All right, so let's do it again. Queen to d5, rook to f7, rook to g1 check, king to f8, queen to g5. If you take this bishop, queen takes, you block with the queen, queen to h8, king to e7. What if after rook takes f6, we don't take with the queen, instead we go queen to g8 check, king to e7, rook to g7 check. Now you have to block with the rook, but we just take that with the queen. Then you're losing the queen on d7. That looks good to me. Let's do it one more time. Queen to d5 check, rook to f7, rook to g1, king to f8, queen to g5, threatening checkmate. You take this bishop, queen to g8 check, king to e7, rook to g7. You can't move the king anywhere, so you have to block with the rook. Then we just take the rook with the queen, and the queen is going down. All right, let's pray and go for it. Queen to d5, rook to g1. Now the question is, queen to g5 works, and I don't want to calculate anymore. So let's go queen to g5. It worked. All right, king to e8. That was the first one we talked about. And I thought I said like queen to h5 or something. Because if we go here, you just block with the rook and there's nothing. But if we go queen to h5, we're preparing this guy because the rook is pinned and he can't go back. So queen to h5, you have to move your queen. Then we go rook to g8 check, king to d7, queen to b5 check, pawn here, queen takes b7, rook to c7, and as you lifted your rook, now we have rook to d8 checkmate. Wow, that is wild. And if you don't go queen to e6, instead you go like here, for example, let's say queen to h5, queen to c6, I think that's even better, because now we're winning the rook. There's rook to g8 check, you move your king, and then queen takes rook. So I should be winning. Let's go queen to h5. Good, yeah, just cut it out there. Oh my god, we're 2 points away. All right, what do we have here? This knight is pinned, so I can't move this guy. Or can I not? What if like knight to d3, you take my queen, I take yours. Now I'm attacking the bishop and the rook, and this knight is also going down. Maybe knight to d3, you have like queen to b6 or something. And then if I take, you take with the pawn, and this is very dangerous. Wait, but if queen to b6, I think we can just take the bishop. And there's no backhand checkmate because the bishop and the rook are defending d8. Oh man, this is getting too complicated. I don't like it anymore. I miss the backhand checkmate. This is some Hikaru level shit. But hey, someone is waiting for me, so I have to keep going. All right, so let's go back to the basics. Do we have any checks? We do. We have rook to d1, which does nothing. We have knight to f3, which enables this. So knight to f3, pawn takes, queen takes. If you try to go for a backhand checkmate, we could just block with the rook. And we're also attacking this guy. So knight to f3, pawn takes, queen takes f4, attacking this guy. If you take the bishop, of course, we take the rook first, and we should be winning. But knight to f3, you can also just move the king, and then we take the bishop, attacking this rook, and we're also threatening checkmate, huh? And now you can't even go pawn to g3 because of this bishop. What do you know? Suddenly, fucking knight to f3 is making sense. All right, let's do it one more time. Knight to f3, check, king to f1, bishop d3, king to f2. Well, we can just take the bishop right away also. And then if you take the knight with the pawn, we have queen takes h2 check, and that's getting way too scary for you. And the last option, if knight to f3, you also have king here right away. And then we just take the bishop and we're threatening a lot of things. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm ready to go bold. Let's go knight to f3. Whew. Yes, I have never been this relieved in my life. You guys don't know this, but my heart is pumping blood so badly right now. It's not over. It's not over just yet. We still got 2 points. This one's still not done. So let's be careful. Let's not blunder anything stupid. I think this is pretty obvious, but let's just double check if there's something going on. And I think that should be it. We take the bishop, we're attacking the rook, everything is defended, no backhand checkmates. I think we're good. Queen takes f4, queen goes there, defending the rook, that makes sense. All right, so I didn't see that move, so we have to come up with something now. We have this queen to g5 check. If king to h1, we have bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, and then queen takes c1. Queen to g5, king to f1, bishop d3, and now the bishop is defended by the rook. You have king here, and then queen check. You go back this way. Or wait, maybe we just have rook to d3 attacking the queen and attacking this rook at the same time. And you can go queen to b2 because of this bishop. I completely overlooked that move. Rook to d3, if you go rook to c3, we just take that with the rook. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do it. I mean, my brain is just drained right now. I can't really consider any more things. Let's go rook to d3, attacking the queen. Holy shit. Thank you, God. All right, don't get too cocky just now. Don't take this rook first, because they can actually just block with the queen. So, yeah, we will be losing there. Let's just take the queen. We're not blundering any checkmates. Looks very good. And we're still attacking the rook. Nice. Now we're just one puzzle away from victory. As you can see, we're 49. We need one more and we will be done. We're not gonna need this guy, although I do kind of want to. Let's not do that. All right, so what do we have here? We have a couple of forcing moves. We like that. Let's go rook to h1. There's king to g2, there's king to e2. Let's consider both. Rook to h1, king to e2, knight to d4, king to e3 looks like the only move. then rook goes back to h3, you have to block the pawn and that's mate. But what if rook to h1 and then this happens? I think we can take the rook first and we're threatening this check. How do you stop that? How do you actually stop that? All right, so rook to h1, king to g2, we take this rook. We don't really care about this queen, we care more about checkmates. And then we're threatening rook to g1 checkmate. Can you stop that? Your king can't move anywhere. Well, you can go to g3, but that's mate in 1. I think that's it. I think we won. I think we have won. Finally. Rook to h1, if king to e2, that's way more forcing. But then if king to g2, we take the rook first, and you have nothing. You have absolutely, you don't even have checks against my king. This one is way easier than the previous one. All right, so let's go rook to h1. What? They go for the easiest one. All right, let's just make sure we're not missing something. Knight to d4, king to e3 is the only move. Rook to h3, you can only block, and that's mate. We did it. We did it, boys. We saved ourselves. But anyway, let's finish this puzzle. Let's go knight to d4, rook to h3, and oh my god. I've been sitting for so long, my butt literally hurts. If you guys haven't tried this, I invite you to play Puzzle Rush on chess.com. Puzzles will determine who wins 90% of your games. So train your puzzles and subscribe for more.